Right, today I'm going to do a quick video on how to drain the water from your Westfield S2000 and remove the thermostat. Before I get started, get yourself some gloves on and suitable PPE. I've put an old bed sheet underneath the car because antifreeze water is a nightmare to clean up off the garage floor. So any drips that you get on your floor, you can pick up this bed sheet and hey presto. I've also put a bit of an old rag down underneath the thermostat housing where I'm going to be removing, and that'll just stop any residue of water getting on the engine if you're a little bit picky. So we'll get started. So get yourself a suitable tub, get it underneath somewhere where you think you're going to catch most of the water. It's never easy doing this job. And I've gone for a socket to remove the hose, 7mm, if it's a 7mm Jubilee clip you have on your car. I'm no professional, I'm just putting something up on the old web just to see folk what's done. Now, what we'll do is we'll put a wee bit of spray onto this clip, because if I haven't been off for a little while, it can be a wee bit stubborn, so spray's your friend. So we'll get ourselves into here, slot the clip. Oh, before I go any further, before you work in a car, I've got an isolator. Always disconnect your power. We are going to be working down beside where the starter and the alternator is. Things are booted up, but you never know. So we're getting a bit of drip of water down this way. Right, there we go. So at this point I've also left the cap on the tank, because that'll stop the water from absolutely gushing out when you get this off. I've also got a little bit of a tie wrap on here. I'll cut that off. I'll go in the bin. Get the hose clip off. And slowly just pull back this hose. You don't want to yark it right off because you're just going to get a gush of water. If you can just get it to a point where it's going to float, there you go. And just let it gurgle. As you'll see, we're having that sheet down, any splashes that's coming out is going to go on it, so you're making a mess of the old garage floor. So just let that put it away there nicely, because as I say, you go pull that pipe off, you're going to have water absolutely everywhere. Just now we've got a nice controlled flow going. Let's go into the bucket. Now, you should always catch your water, because this isn't good for the old fishies, so this stuff needs to be disposed of properly, and take it to your local recycling centre and they should be able to sort you out with getting rid of it. I've had this off just a couple of weeks ago, so I'm catching this fluid and I'm going to be putting it back in again because it's nice and fresh. Right, now that's dripping away, you could go for slacking the cat tank now. There you go, you're getting a bit of a gush of water out. And we're almost there. You can hear it gorging out the radiator. So while that's draining away, we'll get myself organised up here. And I'm going to remove the pipe, if you can see it, which goes onto the thermostat housing. So that is also a 7mm Jubilee clip, but it's in a little bit of a tricky place. So it's going to involve an extension, a wobble bar, and we'll get ourselves down under there. put on another little bit of an extension just to make it a little bit easier. Now you could do this with a 3/8 socket set if you wanted, but quarter just makes it a little bit easier because everything's a little bit smaller. So we'll back that hose clip off. This is a fancy ratchet, this one you can turn the end of it, and it does the job in there if you're struggling for a little bit of room. Can be found on eBay, lots of different brands. Right, that should be enough for that hose clip. So, we're still doing away at the front here, not too bad. I think we've got everything out. If we take this hose off. And now, we'll remove that hose clip. Like so. I'll put that on there. I'm going to try and get this hose down a little bit and a bit lower, because as you'll see, it sits a little bit high. So you've still got water in it. So we'll see if we can bend it down in here. There we go. That's a bit more of an angle like so. Now, that hose is this hose up here. So, excuse me if the camera angle is not too good. So, here we go. Right, we'll pull this hose off the end of here. Any water to write home about coming out of there. What does that say? The cloth just catch any excess. So that hose is now out in there. Hose off there, thermostat. See, there's 2 10 volts that need to be got at. Just in there. There you go. So, there we go. We're on the water socket set. We don't need any wobbles for this one, we just need a little bit longer. I'm going to go in between these 2 fuel pipes I have here. That's the way on there. Go crack back. Give me a second. There's one hand on. Oh, she was tight. I can't recall putting it on that tight. Right, where's that sort of joys? But we're working on a complete environment, so we should be able to find them. That's one of the reasons. There we go, there's them down here. One of the reasons you make sure your isolator or your battery's disconnected, because things flying about like that and your starter being in and about there. I want no sparks. Yeah, so he's loosened off. But just a wee tip, if this hasn't been off for a little while, you might be getting yourself in there again with a little bit of spray just into the bolt, because if it's stiff, steel into aluminium, it's not a good combination. I'm sorry if this camera angle is not very good, but I'm trying. So we're back on, taking the ratchet off, bolts finger tight. That's that bolt almost out, so instead of dropping it and losing it, see, I get that there. nice small hands. Work it out. And there we go. Pop up on here. That way you know where it's at. Now we've got another bolt. Here you can see it just down in the by there, just at the bottom of that rag, like just there. Same again, 10 mil. We'll go in with a ratchet. Away. Ratchet off. Oh, a little bit caught up in our cloth. That's fine up. Right, that's better. We've got the light on in the camera now. These people should be able to see that better. Yeah, if this becomes a success, I'll maybe see what. Trying to film it a bit better if I used to see what I'm up to. As I say, my small hands again. We can get us all in there. Press that bolt out. Back up here, he can be found. As I said, I had this off a couple of weeks ago for an investigation, and it was leaking, so I put a wee bit of sealer on it. So this is going to take a wee bit of a pull to get it to come off, and there we go. One thermostat out. Now, some chocolate's been in here before me, and they've butchered the thermostat. It should come out with just a wee pull if you get your finger inside it, which does make it a bit easier since they've butchered it. There we go. As you see, no internals to the thermostat. That's just going to cause you issues with your engine not getting up to the correct operating temperature. Don't think it's going to be an issue anymore because I've fitted a nice big aluminium radiator which has got 70mm core. Because you've got a small surface area here, you need to double up on your cores on thickness. That way you should get away with some cooling. So, new thermostat's in the post. When it arrives, I'll do another wee vid, show you me popping it back in and filling it up with water and seeing how we get on. Thanks for watching.